Now, if you have 200,000 in your bank account, that is equivalent to like 2,000 US dollars or slightly less than that. And you're confused, you don't even know exactly what to do. By the way, if I tell you, if there is a popular question that I get to be asked by people, either on the comment section or they take my number and they call me and ask me, hey, Joseph, I have 200,000 in my bank account. I have 500,000. I have 2 million. I have 10,000. People ask me, what can I do with that money? Did you get what I said? Most of the people, they call me or text me and they ask me, if I have 300,000, if I have 200,000, if I have whatever the amount of money, what do I do? And I want you to use whatever I'm going to teach you here. If you have this 200,000 in your bank right now, what you can be able to do, whatever you get here, you can use it with whichever the amount of money that you have out there. In case you're watching me for the first time, this is Good Joseph, and I make videos as far as the finances, money, investing, and savings are concerned. And I upload a video each and every day. And if you don't want to miss any good video of mine, make sure that you turn that notification bell. Make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you never miss a good video of me. Let's get and have the discussion. Now, here you are. You have the 200,000 and it's actually lying in your what? It's actually lying in your bank account. And you're wondering, what exactly would you do with that amount of money? Before I even tell you do this or do the other, there is one question that is very important that I would ask you. Why were you having this money in your bank account? What was your initial plan? What was your initial plan? Okay. For example, someone can have this money and his or her initial plan was to say purchase a parcel of land, or was to buy a car, or was to invest, or was to, some people just save for the sake of them saving. If you have 200,000 in a bank account, honestly speaking, this money you can start a business with. Which business? We're gonna talk much about that. You can start a business with this money. Okay, you can go ahead and invest this amount of money. Are we together? You can invest the money. Are we together? Number two or number three, you can actually do what? Fix this money on whichever the thing that you'd like to see. Now, you can actually purchase something. Okay, you can do a purchase out of this money. Now, the question is, among all these doables that you can do with the 200,000, which one is more appropriate with you? The reality is, if you have 200,000 in a bank account, this money is enough to generate you approximately, say, 2,000 each and every month. Is enough to generate you that amount of money each and every month. True, I agree, and sure, this is not a big amount of money, all right? Because if you invest this money, it will generate you that amount of money. If you throw this money into a business, probably there are high chances of making more than 2,000, but also there are high chances of also you losing that money. So it depends. Do you have this 200,000 and are you employed? These are two case scenarios that I'm going to use here. Do you have the 200,000 and are you employed? Where did you get this 200,000? There is one thing that I love to tell people. Where did you get this 200,000? Did you get it out of savings, or did you get it out of a deal? Did you actually went out there and closed a deal that made you quite a good amount of money? That's how you got this 200,000. We surely call that a windfall. If that money is a windfall, then what I can tell you, please don't hurry in purchasing anything huge in terms of, say, say starting a business or something of sort. If what I will let you know, or what I will tell you, you do this 200,000, please take that money, go open a high yield account. Okay, let me put that one down here. If you have this money, see, you can get this money in different ways. Maybe, let's say, what you call is a sequential saving, is a sequential savings. You've been saving this money for a period of time, and I know you must be saving for a purpose. We're gonna talk about that. Let's first talk with the second case, which is what we call, there was a deal. Okay, there was a deal and you got this money. We usually call it a windfall. A windfall is that money that bumps into your account. I don't want to use the term unknowingly, but it just bumped this money in your account after you actually closed a deal. This kind of money, if that is it in your account, then I would highly recommend first you invest this money. You invest this money. When I say invest, I don't mean starting a business. You invest, you can put this money in something like a high yield account. High yield account examples are call deposits, There are things we call them the call deposits. We also have another high account we call the FIF. We have a high account that we can say it's an MMF. We also have a higher yield account that you can be able to negotiate with your bank, but I don't think you have the power to negotiate with that amount of money. Let's look for these three areas where you can be able to put this amount of money if you got it windfall. Now, you see what I'm trying to do? Take this 200,000, invest this money. As you sit down and strategize, as ask yourself, where can I do, or what can I do with this money? Do I have a job with me? No, I do not have a job. Do I want to use this money to actually be paying my bills each and every day? True. Now you cease thinking the investment way and you start thinking the business way, because apparently no investment will actually, no investment you can do with this 200,000 and be able to sustain your bills, the rent, the rent, the school fees, the eating and groceries and what have you, cannot be able to cater for that. Now, but you don't go start that business immediately, okay? Now, the other thing is that if you've been saving this money sequentially, probably you are employed. Probably there is somewhere where you are getting a daily source of income. The question is this: if you were to take this money and throw it in a business, do you have the time to do the business? If you do have the time to do the business, you can be able to manage the business as much as you are being employed, then you can think of a business. And again, what business? The business that you can start is a business that you understand. All right, please don't start a business just because your friend, your colleague, your enemy, or whoever has started a business and you are seeing them thriving, and then you realize that they used 200,000 and apparently you have the 200,000, then you end up starting that business. You're gonna have a lot of big discouragement. So what do? You first of all find out the business that you are interested on. You find out the authenticity, the viability, the feasibility of that particular venture. Then get that money, then start that business. You know what people usually do when they call me? They ask me, Joseph, I have 200,000. What business can I start? Listen, I know you're expecting me to tell you start grocery business, start cereal, start what, but that is not the best way I can ever advise you, because, I mean, for God's sake, how did I know that where you come from, that is the business that can work? But I can offer you the foundational knowledge on what you can be able to start based on after identifying who you are. When I say who you are, I mean in terms of your experience, in terms of your knowledge of particular thing, what grasp do you have upon and such kind of a thing. Okay, let's say you are employed in a real estate, let's say you are a secretary, let's say you are an HR, you have this amount of money, you can start your own agency. You can go out there, create your own agency, start linking up with the real estate guys out there. You can be given some several units to actually have them under your management, and you can be able to make some passive income in that particular manner. Are we together? Now, we have another case scenario. You have this 200,000, you are employed, and you do not have the time to actually go ahead and do the business. You don't want to have a lot of moving parts. Let's say your employment is actually demanding. You are too busy almost throughout the day, or your most productive hours are gone. That is from 9 a.m. all the way to what? To 5 p.m. So you're only remaining with the evening hours and night hours and very early morning hours. So therefore it becomes a little bit harder for you, or hard for you, to actually venture into a business. Now, what do? You actually ask yourself, this money, you keep on doing what you did. If you've been saving, say 10K, 20K, or whichever the amount of money, you keep on doing that, but now you shift this money from having it lying idle in a bank account to a high yield account. True, it won't be making you a huge chunk of cash, 2,000. I mean, it's far much better than having it lying idle in a bank. Then you accumulate that amount of money. You fatten the cow. Once you fatten the cow to a point whereby now you know, even if you are to quit the job that you are doing, are we together, and have this money in an investment account, of course in a high yield, it is equivalent to actually raising the amount of money that you're being paid in a month. For example, let's say you are paid 40,000. You need approximately 4 million in an investment for it to generate a cash flow of 40,000. That means if you have the 4 million in an investment and you have a business or a job that is paying you for 40,000, if you quit the business, or rather if you quit the job, the investment can sustain you. But now the question is, you only have the 200,000. So you can focus on building that portfolio until it reaches to that point. That sounds like a long time. Indeed, it's a long time, assuming that you never get any salary increment and you get the same in terms of returns. So what you can be able to do in between, let's say maybe approximately, assuming everything remains constant, you need like a whole of say 5 years or 6 years for you to reach there. In between the day one when you made that decision, or after watching this video, to the day last, okay, when you're actually gonna hit that target, things can change in between. You can get opportunity. And this is how opportunities usually rises up. A thing can actually be, for example, you can get somebody selling a car. Maybe it's a distressed sale. You can actually buy that car, then resell it. You make few coins out of that. Then you get back that money back to an investment. In between, you can get a property that you can be able to purchase, a property that you can be able to purchase and resell, or you can liquidate at a very high rate. Then you can be able to do what? To purchase that. Or you can get a certain product that you can actually do what? Purchase and then resell. Because the whole point is to accumulate. But the best thing that you can ever do is to have the purchasing power always retained by you, or always having that purchasing power with you. And that is when we say now you're starting winning. Now that's when we say you know exactly what you're gonna do with your 200,000. You know why? Because people tend to think like if you have 200,000, you have to do like what your friend did. No, please, you do according to what fits or befits you. For example, let's say there's somewhere or something that you're doing. Let's say you have a business that is running somewhere, and that business has managed to generate you the 200,000. The primary thing that you should be asking yourself, even before calling anybody, is asking yourself, if this business ABC managed to generate me 200,000 in terms of the savings, now you ask yourself, what if I was to pump back the 200,000 back to the business? Will I actually do what? Will I sort of like, expand the basket of income? Will it actually help me to make more? Because whatever has generated you the 200,000, it has been proven by time that it is working. It can actually grow yourself to the next level. All right. Now you pump in more money into that in the name of actually doing what? Having the system and scaling up the business. Okay. And once you do that, then you have high chances of doing what? Of making more money out of that particular engagement. What I usually see people do, the business that you're running has actually been tested by times. It can actually generate you this amount of money. Then you take the 200,000, instead of pumping back to a more viable business, you go start a whole of a new venture, a venture that you do not know, a venture probably you were talked to by your friends, your colleagues, your family members, and what have you. And then you forget that in any business, in any venture that you go, there is always what we call a learning curve. There is a learning curve. There is a time that you need for you to learn a particular thing. There is nothing that you just get into it and then you are an expert into that. No. If you get into a car dealership, somebody has been there for years and years. If you get into a grocery business, somebody has been there in years and years. And all those years is accumulation of experience. Then they actually work in flawless. For example, I've been this in YouTube thing for the last 3 years. If somebody opens a YouTube channel today, definitely they ain't gonna catch up with you like within a day unless you are a Cristiano Ronaldo, You know what I'm saying when I say that. So now what happens is that there is Samuel Ozil always that is ahead of you. So what happens is before you explore whole of a new industries or new areas there, first of all, figure out what you can be able to do with the existing systems, with the existing business, with the existing venture that you can be able to pump in the cash that you have to expand the basket of income. If then that is not viable, if it is not workable, then that is where now you focus on a whole of a new exploration. But before you do that, please make sure that you learn much about that exploration that you're interested on so that you don't lose the cash that you have. Because otherwise, if you do that, it can actually get you into a problem. That is it, guys. That marks the end of my video. Don't forget to hit that subscription button. Make sure that you turn that notification bell and leave a comment on the comment section, because just like an iron sharpens another iron, so do we learn from each other. See you in the next one, and God bless you. And by the way, if you need my services in one way or the other, don't forget, my number is always on the description of this particular video. Go ahead and grab it. See ya.